At a small gathering of friends, my husband Leo's best friend asked him in French, "Your little flower out there is 2 months pregnant. What are you going to do?" Leo smiled, thoughtfully peeling a shrimp and placing it on my plate. Then he replied in French, "Natalie doesn't like children. I'll have Mia give birth to the child and raise it abroad. At least I'll have an heir." I ate the shrimp, but tears streamed down my face. "Natalie, what's wrong?" Leo asked, alarmed. I wiped my tears and smiled. "The dipping sauce for the shrimp is too spicy." But the dipping sauce was just soy sauce. The tears were because I understood French. Leo had perhaps forgotten that I had been a top student in French, and that he had learned French just to pursue me. My thoughts returned to the present. Leo was leaning on the table, watching me. "Honey, what are you thinking about?" I looked at him without a word, reaching for the pitcher of lemon tea, but before my hand could touch it, he took it from me. "Honey, you don't need to do these little things yourself." He poured me a glass. His friend, Alex, sitting across from us, clutched his teeth in mock pain. "Can you two lovebirds be a little more considerate of us single people? You're making my teeth ache." Leo glanced at him and smirked. "I'm a henpecked husband. You've known that from day one. If you don't like it, just suck it up." All right, I'll just eat," Alex said, but his eyes were gleaming with amusement. I looked up at Leo, the warmth I once felt for him now gone, but he didn't notice. He leaned in and kissed my lips. "What's wrong, honey?" Stunned by my good looks. "Yes, I wanted to get a good look at this man who loves me so much, to see if he has a wandering eye." He froze, a flash of panic in his eyes, but he quickly composed himself. When he looked at me again, his gaze was so full of affection it was almost suffocating. "Honey, don't joke like that. I couldn't bear the thought of losing you." I lowered my eyes and smiled, pulling my hand away from his heart. So, he still remembered what I had told him, when I had agreed to be with him. My only condition had been loyalty. "If I ever find out you've been unfaithful," I had said, "I will never forgive you." He had been so in love with me then. He had grabbed my hand and sworn, "Natalie, I chased you for a whole year. You are my treasure. I would never do anything to hurt you. If I do, may I be alone for the rest of my life." Yes, because of my looks, I had never lacked for suitors. From the moment he saw me, he had been determined to win me over. I had been heartbroken by my first love and was wary of romance, but he had been so persistent. I had finally given him a chance. 4 months ago, I had discovered he was keeping a young woman on the side. My faith in true love had shattered. I had expected to have a huge fight with him, but instead, I was strangely calm. I continued to live with him, quietly preparing for a life without him. In 1 week, my visa would be approved. I would be able to leave him and start a new life. After dinner, he leaned on my shoulder, drunk. "Honey, let's go home," Alex called out from behind us. "Leo, aren't you coming to the next party? Everyone's waiting for us." "No," he said, still clinging to me. "My wife needs to take her medicine. I have to go home with her." I then received a text message. "Natalie, guess who Leo will be with tonight? You or me?" My eyes were fixed on the screen. He saw me pause and looked over. "Honey, what's wrong?" I quickly turned off the screen. "Nothing, just a provocative text from the other woman." He frowned and reached for my phone. Just then, his own phone rang. It was MIA's special ringtone. I held my phone out to him. "Still want to see?" He stared at me, his eyes trembling. "Honey, I'm drunk, don't tease me." He nuzzled my neck like a child. "Answer your phone," I said calmly. "It's been ringing for a while." He straightened up, about to say he would take the call elsewhere, but I was already walking towards the driver waiting at the gate. From the car, I could see his face light up as he talked on the phone. All traces of drunkenness gone. I looked away, trying to suppress the bitterness in my heart. I knew he wouldn't be coming home with me tonight. Sure enough, another text from Mia arrived. "You lose, Natalie. I'm the one he cares about now. Me and the baby." A tear escaped. He opened the car door. "Honey, what's wrong?" His concerned voice was like a knife to my heart. "I'm tired," I said, my voice flat. "Are you coming home with me?" "I'd love to, honey, but something urgent came up at work. I'll be home as soon as I can." "Okay." He leaned in to kiss me. I put a finger to his lips. "Someone's filming. Don't be so clingy, go on." I pushed him out of the car and told the driver to go. A few minutes later, Mia called. "Natalie, doesn't it disgust you to kiss him? He's kissed every inch of my body, including..." She laughed maliciously. I hung up, trembling, and asked the driver to pull over. I leaned against the railing and threw up. He didn't come home that night. I checked my phone repeatedly, but there were no more taunting messages from Mia. They must have been busy. I laughed bitterly and got out of bed, gathering all the expensive gifts he had ever given me. I had once thought I was the happiest woman in the world. Now, I scheduled a courier to deliver them all to Mia in a week. If he had divided his heart, then his gifts should go to the one he loved most. I was cutting up a suit I had given him when he came home. He saw what I was doing, and the food container in his hand almost fell. "Honey, what are you doing?" I looked at him, my face a mask. "There are some stray cats in the garden. I thought I'd make them a bed, but that's the only gift you've ever given me." I could never bear to wear it. I continued to cut. "Well, you've cut up my gift, so you'll have to get me a new one," he finally said. I looked up, a smile playing on my lips. "All right, I actually have two gifts for you." His eyes lit up. "Really? Where are they?" I glanced at the food container. It was my favorite seafood congee, from a place halfway across the city. He only ever got it for me when he had done something to upset me, or when he felt guilty. Mia must have made him very happy tonight. "You'll see in a week," I said with a self-deprecating laugh. He led me to the dining room. "You barely ate tonight. You must be hungry." I stirred the congee with a spoon, then deliberately knocked it over. He rushed to check if I was hurt. When he looked up and saw the coldness in my eyes, he froze. "It's okay, Natalie. If you want more, I'll get it for you in the morning." I could feel him trembling. In the past, I would have melted at his gentle pleading, but now, I just stood up. "No need, my tastes have changed. I don't like seafood congee anymore, and I don't like you anymore." He didn't know what was wrong, but he sensed the change in me. For the next 2 days, he stayed by my side, not leaving for a moment. MIA's special ringtone rang again and again, but he ignored it. My departure date was getting closer, and I still hadn't gotten him to sign the divorce papers. I had to resort to a method I despised. I put on a slinky silk dress and posed provocatively with him, taking a series of suggestive photos and sending them to Mia. As expected, his phone rang again. He was about to hang up, but I answered it for him. "Natalie," he said, his eyes wide. "Answer it," I said. "It might be important." He muted the call. I could hear Mia crying on the other end, and him patiently comforting her. When he hung up, he looked at me hesitantly. "If you have something to do, go," I said. "You don't have to stay with me." He let out a sigh of relief but still clutched his phone. "Natalie, please don't be mad. The company is just getting on its feet." "I understand." I cut him off. "Go." Before he left, he said, "Natalie, give me a week to sort things out. After that, I'll take a vacation and we'll go to that mountain city you've always wanted to visit." I had lived in that city for a time when I was a child and had always felt a connection to it. I had asked him to go with me many times, but he had always been too busy. But I had seen from MIA's posts that he had taken her there, and in a week, she would be 3 months pregnant. The fetus would be stable. He would finally have time for me, but I no longer needed it. I just nodded. After he left, a text from Mia arrived. "As slutty as you are, Natalie, he still chose me. I made a deal with her. You want to be Mrs. Goo. Help me, and I'll make it happen." She was more than happy to oblige. She sent me a stream of photos of them together. As proof, that night, he came home drunk, full of apologies, seeing the love bites on his neck. I played the part of the patient, forgiving wife. He was so moved. He was on the verge of tears. "Honey, you're so good to me. I would pluck the stars from the sky for you." This was my chance. I took out the divorce papers and coaxed him into signing. He was about to look at what he had signed, but I quickly put it away. "A check," I said with a smile, "for the stars you promised me." He was a CEO, and even drunk, he wasn't completely oblivious. I had to play on his emotions, keep him distracted. It worked. I just wondered what his reaction would be when he sobered up and found out the truth. I put the signed papers in a pink safe I had bought and placed it in the most conspicuous spot in the room. As I was organizing the photos Mia had sent, he woke up. "Honey, what are you doing? Come and hold me." The smell of his drunken breath and the lingering scent of her perfume made me want to vomit. I ran to the bathroom. He was fully awake now and rushed in, checking on me. "Honey, what's wrong? You've been acting so strange lately." He held me tight. I pushed him away. "I can't stand the smell of perfume." He froze, a guilty look in his eyes. I forced a smile. "What's with that face? One would think you've done something to be ashamed of." He grew even more nervous. "Honey, I haven't. I would never do anything to hurt you." I believe you." I lied. "Go to sleep." He held me all night. I was disgusted, but I didn't resist. I just stared at the ceiling and counted the seconds until I would be free. The visa would be ready in 2 days. The next morning, he was still lying in bed, waiting for me to wake up. He kissed me the moment I opened my eyes. I pushed him away. I haven't brushed my teeth. It's gross. He laughed. A low, rumbling sound. It's good. You're back to your old self. I was glad. It meant his guard was down. 2 more days, and I would be free. I coaxed him into going to work. He didn't want to leave. Wanted to take me for a drive. But I pointed to the pink safe. You want your gift, don't you? It's in there. If you don't work hard, I'll destroy it. He was intrigued. He tried to open it, but couldn't. He begged for the password, but I refused. He had no choice but to go to work. You'll tell me the password in 2 days, right? He asked before he left. Of course, I said. I hope you like it. As long as it's from you, I'll love it. I just smiled. I was a little sad I wouldn't be there to see his face when he found out the truth. After he left, I went to the hospital. I ran into Mia there. She was having a prenatal checkup. Well, if it isn't the queen herself, she said, a smug look on her face. Here for a fertility treatment. She was right. In a way, I did have trouble conceiving, but it wasn't because I was infertile. It was because I had damaged my health saving him from drowning years ago. I had never told him, not wanting him to feel guilty. He just thought I didn't like children. I ignored her and went into the doctor's office. She followed me and watched as I got a prescription for an abortion. When I came out, she was stunned. Natalie, you. I showed her the prescription. The day I found out you and he were having an affair was the day I found out I was pregnant. I've thought about it, and I can't forgive him, even with his child. She just stared at me, a strange look on her face. I'm leaving tomorrow night, I said. Please keep him with you for these 2 days. Give me some peace. She finally nodded. Thank you, I said with a smirk. Natalie, she called out as I was leaving. Don't you hate me? I stopped and laughed. Hate? No. If it wasn't you, it would have been someone else. A cheating man will always cheat. So, Mia, you are the first to make him feel something new, but you will not be the last. But I should thank you. If it wasn't for you, I would never have realized that there is nothing more important in this world than loving yourself. As expected, he didn't come home that night. He sent 2 nauseatingly sweet texts. Mia sent me a series of photos. A romantic candlelight dinner, him helping her with prenatal exercises, them in bed together. I calmly added them to the video I was making. A compilation of their entire affair. I scheduled it to be sent to both of them the next afternoon. They would be so happy to receive my little love story. To my surprise, he came home at midnight. I was in the middle of my final packing. He rushed in, his body cold from the night air, and pulled me into a tight embrace. Honey, he whispered, his voice trembling. I had a bad feeling all night, like something was about to disappear from my life forever. I missed you so much. I couldn't breathe. I pushed him away. You're just tired from work. He wouldn't look at me. Honey, I've cleared my schedule. I'm going to stay home with you from tomorrow on. I panicked. Had he found out something? Honey, don't push me away, he pleaded, his eyes full of a desperate hope. Promise me you'll never leave me. In the past, I would have been so moved by his vulnerability, but now, I just said, as I've always said, as long as you don't betray me, I will love you forever. He seemed satisfied with that. I will never do anything to hurt you, he said, his voice low and firm. I can't bear the thought of you leaving me. How ironic. The next day, he still hadn't left. I was getting anxious. I had to call Mia for help. His phone rang several times before he finally answered. When he hung up, he looked at me with a heavy heart. Natalie, go, I said. Go and do what you need to do. He was so reluctant to leave. Honey, wait for me. I'll be back soon. I watched his car disappear, then put the abortion prescription and the signed divorce papers in the safe and sent him the password. You can open your gift when you get home. His reply was instant. Okay, honey, I'll be back soon. I didn't reply. I grabbed my suitcase and went to the airport. Just before boarding, I saw that the video had been sent. His calls started coming in, one after another. I hung up, took out my SIM card, and broke it in half. At the same time, Leo was sitting in his car, watching the video. It was a complete record of his affair with Mia, and the sender was his beloved wife, Natalie. He turned to Mia, his voice a furious roar. How dare you contact her behind my back? Have you forgotten what I told you? Mia cowered in the corner, her eyes wide with fear. Leo, don't be angry. It's not good for the baby. He was breathing heavily, a montage of Natalie's recent strange behavior playing in his mind. A terrible feeling washed over him. He shoved her out of the car. Mia, if anything happens to Natalie, I will kill you. He sped home, but the house was empty. The once cluttered but cozy home was now barren, echoing with a hollow silence. The blood drained from his face. He didn't believe she would leave. He searched every corner of the house, calling her name. Then he saw the pink safe. With a glimmer of hope, he opened it. When he saw what was inside, he collapsed, sobbing. He clutched the abortion prescription, a wave of regret washing over him. Natalie, where are you? Please come back. I know I was wrong. Mia, after being pushed from the car, had a miscarriage. She called him from the ambulance. You deserve it, he had screamed, his voice full of hatred. You should have died. In France, I went to stay with my childhood friend, Sophie. I had thought it would be awkward, but she was so bubbly and cheerful. There was no time for awkwardness. I had been a semi-famous online singer before I married him. I had given it up to be with him. Now, I decided to start again. With Sophie's help, I set up a small studio. My creativity flowed, and I released 2 songs in a month. They were minor hits, and I started to gain a small following. Just as I was starting to enjoy my new life, he appeared. I was walking home from the studio when I felt someone following me. I was about to call the police when a familiar scent enveloped me. I froze. He was holding me, silently crying. I tried to push him away, but he held on tighter. Natalie, I finally found you, he whispered, his voice trembling. I slapped him. How dare you show your face here? He just stood there, taking the blow. Natalie, please come home with me. You can hit me. You can yell at me. I won't fight back. His pathetic display would have moved me before, but now, it only filled me with a sense of satisfaction. If you had any shred of decency left, if you remembered any of the kindness I showed you, you would leave me alone. Please, Natalie, come home. How dare you ask me to forgive you? I said, my voice cold. When you were cheating, did you ever think of how much it would hurt me? I did. I thought. You thought what? That I was a barren hen. That as long as you were careful, I would never find out. He shook his head, tears streaming down his face. I love you. You're the only one I've ever loved, he cried, a desperate, broken sound. I admit I was wrong. I was weak. I thought as long as I kept it a secret, you would never find out. I know I was wrong. I've already gotten rid of MIA's baby. Natalie, come home. We can start over. We can have our own child. You really are something, Leo, I said with a cold laugh. You think I don't like children. Let me tell you something. The reason we never had a child was not because I didn't want one. It was because I damaged my health saving you from drowning. That's why I had trouble getting pregnant. He stared at me, his eyes wide with disbelief. I repeated my words. You don't deserve it, Leo. I slammed the door in his face. 4 days. He followed me, a silent, pathetic shadow. I threatened to send the video of his affair to all his business partners. He just looked at me with a heartbreaking expression. I sent it anyway. His company, already in a precarious position, was on the verge of collapse. He had to go back to deal with the fallout. Natalie, he said before he left, even if you never forgive me, I will never give up on you. As soon as I've sorted things out, I will move to France and be with you forever. I knew words were useless. I started the process of moving to another country. 3 days later, just as I got my new visa, a call from Mia came. Natalie, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be barren for the rest of my life. Leo is mine. Even in death, he will be mine. A bad feeling washed over me. Soon after, a friend from home called. Leo had sold his company at a loss and was on his way to the airport when his car was deliberately hit. The other driver had died on impact. Leo was in a coma, and he would likely lose his legs. I just said, I see, and hung up. After that, my life was quiet again. A few days later, a call from his mother came. Natalie, she sobbed, I know I shouldn't be calling you, but Leo, he's dying. The doctors say he's lost the will to live. He's my only son. Please, I'm begging you, come back and see him. I was moved. His parents had always been kind to me. I decided to go back, just for them. Sophie, my friend, understood. When I saw his mother, I was shocked. She looked 10 years older. She led me to the ICU. Through the glass, I saw him, hooked up to a tangle of tubes. His mother was on the verge of collapse. I stood there and talked to him, recounting old memories. After a few days, the doctors said he was no longer actively trying to die. A week later, he was moved to a regular room. His mother took me to see him, but he just turned his head away. He told me to leave, that he didn't want to see me. I said goodbye to his parents and got on a flight back to France. After I landed, I received a text from him. Natalie, I'm sorry. I know this is my punishment. I accept it. I am no longer worthy of you. I won't bother you again. I just hope you don't forget me too quickly. I deleted the message and threw away the SIM card again. This time, I could finally start my new life.